Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm a Ukrainian. I have decided I will vlog daily from my country Ukraine since the start of this awful war with Russia, and in my daily videos I try to update you on the important real-life situations in Ukraine, and of course I'm always glad to answer your questions and to clarify some facts from our history, culture or whatever interests you. And today I want to speak about the visit of President Macron, Chancellor Scholz and Prime Minister Draghi and President of Romania to Ukraine, because perhaps it was the most important global event in the news, and it was also symbolic and important for Ukrainians. To tell you the truth, during the period, or at least at the start of their visit, the map of dangerous zones, I mean for air raids in Ukraine, turned red and all the zones were under threat. Perhaps this is once again a traditional way of Putin to demonstrate his respect to the visit of European leaders to Ukraine. Also, I know that President Medvedev had lots of negative comments towards European leaders, which once again shows that Russia is not eager to negotiate not only with Ukraine but also with the European Union, showing disrespect to all the international laws and rules. For us Ukrainians, it was extremely important that these leaders visited Ukraine finally after so many days of war taking place here, and I'm really glad that they were able to witness in their own eyes the results of Russian cruelty in Ukraine. From what I know, they have visited Irpin. Of course, Irpin is now liberated. Luckily, it is no more an occupied zone. It was liberated by Ukrainian armed forces. But there are lots of scars that Russian orcs left there, and perhaps they managed to witness the bombed and destroyed houses, graves of civilians, and other awful things of war. And many people are not very much in support of war tourism, but I think it's important for politicians, especially those who make decisions, because no matter how much we speak and demonstrate that in videos and photos, to see it in your own eyes, to feel the size of these ruins created by Russians in Ukraine, perhaps can influence people more. And from what I see, the way I observe, the way they look on the news and the photos that were shown, perhaps they were influenced or under the influence of what they have seen, and maybe Macron will speak less about saving Putin's face and more about the European choice of Ukraine. Also, we know that they expressed their support to the idea of Ukraine becoming the candidate for the European Union, and it is extremely important for us too. I do know there are lots of plus and minuses of being a part of the European Union. I also know that being a candidate does not mean you are going to become a part of the European Union soon, but it is an extremely important symbolic step, a step that will definitely make Russia angry, and a step that will also demonstrate that Ukraine belongs to Europe. And Ukraine actually belongs to Europe. For me, it was always pretty humiliating to explain where I'm from to many people in Europe, and like showing them that like we are Europeans, you know, and once we were one of the really important European countries, and maybe we will become that important European country once again. But anyway, even not being a part of the European Union, but be closer to it, being a candidate, changing and reforming something means a lot to Ukrainian citizens. And I think that a very important influence here is also of the EU citizens, not that much of political leaders, because sometimes they express doubt, some of them still fear of Russian money, others don't want to irritate dictator Putin, but the citizens of the European Union mainly demonstrate support to Ukrainians, and this is very, very important for us. So now we will be waiting for that decision, but anyway, I do hope that Macron, Scholz, Draghi manage to change a little bit their attitude, and they won't make Ukraine accept the negotiations in Russia on Russia's condition, because after so many crimes committed, after so many international laws violated, perhaps it is impossible. I also think I should record a separate vlog about EU and Ukraine, because this is the subject that I also work in, and personally I considered pretty important at this moment, both for the European Union and for Ukraine. But also I want to share with you another thing. Today we have recorded an interview with one Ukrainian band, Kozak System, who came to Lutsk for a charity concert. And at the beginning they were all in Polis protecting Kyiv and territorial defense, and later they have started touring and collecting the money for the Ukrainian armed forces. And at the end of this video I will show you a small song, and also I will leave you a link to their better videos. If you like them, you can listen them in better quality than my video. But what also impressed me a lot is that all the money that they collect, of course, go in the support of the Ukrainian armed forces, but also they have decided to pass the box where people in the audience could put their money. And I was surprised at how many people passed lots of money, like 500 hryvnias, that's pretty a lot for us, to other people they don't know, asking them to put them in the box. So all around we have this total trust in Ukraine, and this is what surprises me from the start of the war. For example, people who have the concert hall, they give this concert hall for free for the group who sings for free to collect money for the Ukrainian armed forces. And then you have people who see you for the first time and they ask you to pass their thousands of hryvnias, for example, into the box, and they don't have doubts that you will not put it in the box in the darkness of the concert hall. So this trust that unites Ukraine is definitely one of the things that I would like us to keep after we win. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what topics interest you. If you like my vlogs, do subscribe. This makes me glad, as I'm able to share information about my beautiful country Ukraine that fights for independence right now. Thank you for buying me coffees, for becoming my patrons. Slava Ukraini!
Буде голосно і глибоко, зашаріється вокзал, і хоч я не Гінзбург, не співаю прокурено, і зажуреним оком у ніч не гляджу, я прожену сол лукавих нахмурих, і загубленим полем тебе поведу, де місяць лежить, і блудять зорі зали. Ще ні, одні, ми закохані злодії, де місяць лиже ніч, і блудять зорі залишені одні, ми закохані злодії, малими дітьми лякала нас семи вітрів краса, але мені ти заплутала і загубила страх, холоди, квіти, далекі байдужі голоси, але над нами все синьо, о, як синьо. Розпускай коси, крихітко, я сідаю за штурвал. Буде голосно і глибоко, зашаріється вокзал, і хоч я не Гінзбург, не співаю прикурено, і зажуреним оком у ніч не гляджу, я прожену сол лукавих нахмурих, і загубленим полем тебе поведу, де місяць лиже ніч, і блудять зорі залишені одні, ми закохані злодії, де місяць лиже ніч, і блудять зорі залишені одні, ми закохані злодії. зорі залишені одні, ми закохані зло